welcome back to our channel. Unlock the secrets of rare coins and the incredible stories they tell. Hit that subscribe button. The 1975 US 1-cent penny is often seen as a standard issue, part of the continuous stream of coins produced to meet the daily needs of the American public. In most people's minds, pennies are simply small, inexpensive tokens of currency, a mere relic of a bygone era that rarely holds any particular value. But like so many seemingly humble objects, the 1975 penny holds a far more intriguing and valuable story, one that delves into the rich history of U.S. coinage, the evolution of the penny, and a particularly rare variation that can command an impressive price in the world of numismatics. This unassuming coin, stamped with the likeness of Abraham Lincoln and the phrase, "In God We Trust," carries with it a hidden history, a legacy of rare minting errors, and a fascinating connection to the larger story of American coinage. Today, a small number of 1975 pennies have risen to legendary status among collectors, fetching upwards of $165,000 at auction. Yes, you read that right, $165,000. But how did a simple penny from 1975 evolve into such a highly coveted treasure? To answer that question, we'll need to explore the context, design, and rarity of this particular coin. Let's start by understanding the broader historical context of the penny, specifically the changes that occurred around the time the 1975 1-cent penny was struck. By the mid-1970s, the United States was in the midst of a period of economic upheaval. Inflation was a significant concern, and the country had entered into a period of economic stagflation, where high inflation was paired with high unemployment. The government was forced to reevaluate many aspects of the economy, including the materials used to mint coins. The penny, which had been composed of mostly copper for much of the 20th century, was under scrutiny. At the time, the price of copper was rising, and the U.S. Mint was looking for ways to reduce the cost of producing pennies. This led to the decision to transition from using nearly pure copper to a copper-plated zinc composition. This shift was meant to make the penny more affordable to produce while still maintaining its familiar appearance. In 1975, the U.S. Mint began to implement this change, with pennies produced in that year being composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, as was the case for decades prior. However, a subtle shift in the composition of the penny was about to lead to one of the most notable and valuable penny-related errors in history. Now, let's dive into the design of the 1975 penny. By 1975, the design of the penny had remained largely unchanged for several decades. On the obverse, we find the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design had graced the penny since 1909, and it was as iconic as ever. Lincoln's image had become synonymous with the penny, and it was a central symbol of U.S. currency for generations. On the reverse side of the coin, we find a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, which had replaced the wheat ears design in 1959. The Lincoln Memorial, an enduring symbol of American history and the country's reverence for Lincoln's legacy, had been the penny's reverse design for nearly 2 decades. By 1975. This image, designed by Frank Gasparo, is a beautiful and iconic representation of one of the most significant monuments in the United States. The memorial's depiction on the penny reinforced the coin's connection to American values and history. From a design perspective, the 1975 penny wasn't particularly revolutionary. It was a continuation of the standard Lincoln Memorial design, one that had been in circulation for years. However, there was something significant about the 1975 penny, a rare error that would emerge and define its collector appeal. This brings us to one of the most significant and valuable variations of the 1975 penny, the 1975 double die penny. The double die error, which occurs when the die used to stamp the design onto the coin becomes misaligned, creates a doubling effect on the design. In the case of the 1975 penny, the doubling is most noticeable in the date on the obverse and the word Liberty. On a correctly minted coin, the date and other inscriptions are clear and distinct. But on a double die penny, the date appears to have 2 sets of numbers, creating a noticeable shadow effect. The word Liberty appears similarly doubled, making the coin stand out as an error. The doubling effect on the 1975 penny is not subtle. In fact, it's relatively easy to spot once you know what you're looking for. For collectors who are familiar with minting errors, this doubling is an unmistakable clue that the coin in question is far from ordinary. However, as is often the case with minting errors, only a small percentage of the total mintage for that year was affected, making these doubled die pennies extremely rare and highly sought after. It's important to note that the doubling effect on the 1975 penny was not intentional, but rather the result of a minting mistake. However, such errors have a unique allure among collectors. The rarity of these coins, combined with their distinctive appearance, makes them highly valuable in the world of numismatics. As is often the case with rare coins, the value increases with the coin's condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can command much higher prices than those with visible wear and tear. A well-preserved 1975 double-die penny can fetch tens of thousands of dollars, while coins in top condition have been known to sell for as much as $165,000 at auction. The appeal of the 1975 double-die penny is twofold: rarity and historical significance. Coins with minting errors are often seen as unique pieces of history, capturing a brief moment in time when something went wrong during the production process. Collectors are drawn to these coins because they are tangible pieces of history that are often in limited supply. The rarity of the 1975 double-die penny, combined with its striking appearance and historical significance, makes it an attractive investment for coin collectors and investors alike. For those who are unfamiliar with the world of coin collecting, the allure of owning a rare piece like the 1975 double-die penny may be hard to fully appreciate. However, for seasoned collectors and numismatists, owning a coin like this is about more than just its monetary value. It's about the story behind the coin, the thrill of finding a rare minting error, and the pride of holding a unique and valuable piece of American history in your hand. As with many rare coins, the value of the 1975 double-die penny is influenced by several factors, including its rarity, demand, and condition. Coins that are in excellent condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, are far more valuable than those that show signs of heavy circulation. In fact, the highest grade examples of the 1975 double-die penny can command prices of up to $165,000. The rarity of the coin, combined with the demand among collectors, ensures that these pennies will continue to be highly coveted for years to come. As the years pass and fewer examples of the 1975 double-die penny remain in pristine condition, it's likely that the coin's value will continue to rise. In the world of numismatics, rarities like this one become increasingly difficult to find, and their value only increases as they become more sought after by collectors. What was once an ordinary penny, produced to meet the everyday needs of Americans, has become a valuable piece of history. In conclusion, the 1975 US 1-cent penny may seem like a small and insignificant coin at first glance, but its value and historical significance make it far more than just pocket change. The 1975 double-die penny, with its unique minting error, has captured the attention of coin collectors around the world and become one of the most valuable pennies in existence. With a current value of up to $165,000 for certain well-preserved examples, this seemingly ordinary coin has become a rare treasure, one that tells a story of imperfection, rarity, and the unpredictable nature of mass production. Next time you hold a 1975 penny in your hand, take a moment to appreciate the history behind it. It may look like just another penny, but to the discerning collector, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Who knows, you might just have a hidden treasure worth $165,000 right in your pocket. In 1999, the United States was at a unique crossroads in history. The country had just entered the final year of the millennium, a year that would forever be remembered for a mix of excitement, anxiety, and optimism. The world was anxiously awaiting the arrival of the year 2000, and in the midst of all that anticipation, something rather ordinary, yet iconic, caught the eye of collectors: a small coin that many took for granted, the 1999 US 1-cent penny. At first glance, this penny seems like any other. It's small, copper-colored, and bears the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on its obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on its reverse. But like many seemingly ordinary objects, this penny holds a far greater story, one that ties into American history, coinage, and a unique era that would make it highly sought after by collectors. In fact, a rare variation of this penny could be worth as much as $144,000 today. Yes, that's right, $144,000. Let's step back a bit and understand the broader context of 1999, the year in which this particular penny was struck. The US was experiencing a time of relative peace and prosperity. The economy was thriving, with low unemployment rates and a stock market that had been climbing steadily throughout the 1990s. The country was preparing for the dawn of the new millennium, and people were already envisioning what the future would look like, from technological advances to changes in global politics. The 1999 penny would become a quiet symbol of this transitional time. The coin, like the nation itself, had seen a series of changes in the decades preceding its release. Since 1909, pennies had featured the likeness of Abraham Lincoln. The original design, created by artist Victor David Brenner, was iconic and would become synonymous with American coinage. For decades, the penny had remained relatively unchanged, with Lincoln's portrait gracing the obverse and the reverse depicting wheat stalks, a nod to the country's agrarian roots. However, by the time the 1999 penny was struck, that design had changed. In 1959, the wheat stalks were replaced with a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, a structure that became synonymous with Lincoln's legacy and served as a fitting tribute to the 16th president. The Lincoln Memorial would appear on the reverse of the penny for more than 40 years, including on the 1999 penny. While the 1999 penny retained this design, its production marked the tail end of a significant change in American coinage. The U.S. Mint had been transitioning from using nearly pure copper for pennies to a copper-plated zinc composition. This shift began in 1982, driven by rising copper prices, and by 1999, pennies were made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. It may not have seemed significant to the everyday person, but this change would ultimately lead to certain rare coins from this period becoming highly valuable. While the 1999 penny may seem ordinary to most people, there's one key detail that makes it especially interesting to collectors: minting errors. The world of numismatics, coin collecting, is full of stories about rare and valuable coins that were the result of minting mistakes, and the 1999 penny is no exception. Among the 1999 pennies, there are a few rare specimens that have captured the imagination of collectors and numismatists alike. One such error is the 1999 wide AM penny, which refers to a particular variation in the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin. In the standard design, the letters are relatively close together, but in the wide AM error, the letters are spaced farther apart. This subtle but significant variation in the design has made the coin highly collectible, as it's relatively rare. It is believed that this error occurred due to a mistake in the die that was used to strike the coins. Over time, the wide AM pennies became increasingly valuable, and their rarity caught the attention of collectors. So, what makes these wide AM pennies so special? It's all about rarity. The Mint made millions of pennies in 1999, but only a small percentage of them featured this wide AM error. As a result, these coins are extremely difficult to find, particularly in pristine condition. The vast majority of 1999 pennies have the normal close spacing between the A and M, but the wide AM variation stands out. Coins with this error have become some of the most sought-after pennies among collectors, and their value has continued to rise. The appeal of the wide AM penny lies not only in its rarity but also in its connection to a pivotal year in American history. The 1999 penny is a small yet significant piece of numismatic history. For collectors, finding a wide AM penny is like discovering a hidden treasure, a rare, tangible connection to a bygone era. This is why collectors go to great lengths to find these pennies, and why they are willing to pay astronomical prices for them. But the 1999 wide AM penny isn't the only reason that the 1999 penny is of interest to collectors. The coin also marks the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. Starting in 2009, the U.S. Mint began issuing a series of new reverse designs to commemorate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. These new designs would replace the Lincoln Memorial, making the 1999 penny one of the last to feature this iconic image. For collectors who appreciate the history of U.S. coinage, owning a 1999 penny means owning a piece of history, a coin that marks the end of an era in American minting. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1999 wide AM penny. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare specimens, you could be looking at a coin worth a significant amount of money. The price of a 1999 wide AM penny can vary depending on its condition and rarity, but well-preserved examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars in the past. Coins that are in excellent condition, with sharp details and no signs of wear, can be worth far more than those that have been circulated or damaged. In fact, the highest grade examples of the 1999 wide AM penny have been known to fetch as much as $144,000 at auction. Yes, $144,000. That's the kind of value that can make any penny collector's heart race. The value of these rare coins is driven by their rarity, historical significance, and demand among collectors. As time goes on, these coins will only become more difficult to find, making them even more valuable. In the world of numismatics, coins like the 1999 wide AM penny are not just about monetary value, they're about the thrill of discovery, the history behind the coin, and the joy of owning a piece of the past. Whether you're an avid collector or someone who just stumbled upon a rare penny in your pocket change, the 1999 wide AM penny is a coin that holds great allure. And with its current value of up to $144,000, it's a coin that proves once again that sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. So, the next time you find a 1999 penny in your change, take a closer look. Is it the standard version, or could it be one of the rare wide AM pennies? If you find one, you might just hold in your hands a coin worth $144,000. Now, isn't that something worth checking your pockets for? In the early months of 2001, the world found itself in a state of change. The new millennium had brought with it a sense of possibility, yet the shadow of uncertainty loomed. Economically, the world was navigating the effects of the dot-com bubble, and politically, the U.S. was witnessing the transition between two presidents. Bill Clinton had just completed his second term, and George W. Bush had recently taken office. Amid all the hustle and bustle of this turning point, there was a quiet, often overlooked symbol of everyday life, the U.S. 1-cent penny. At first glance, a 2001 penny doesn't seem all that special. It's small, copper in color, and bears the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. The reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a structure so deeply tied to Lincoln's legacy that it seems almost symbolic of the very essence of America itself. But while the 2001 penny might appear unremarkable to the casual observer, beneath its seemingly simple design, lies a fascinating history, and perhaps an unexpected treasure. To understand the significance of the 2001 penny, we must first delve into the broader context of U.S. coinage. The penny, like many other U.S. coins, has undergone several changes over the years. One of the most notable changes to the design of the penny occurred back in 1909, when the U.S. Mint introduced the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse featured two stalks of wheat, a design that became iconic for nearly 50 years. But by the time 1959 arrived, the U.S. Mint decided to update the reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial, which would become a hallmark of the penny for decades. Fast forward to 2001, and the penny was still adorned with the Lincoln Memorial. This design had remained largely unchanged for over 4 decades, and it was a fitting tribute to the legacy of the 16th president. Yet, the year 2001 marked an important transitional moment for U.S. coinage, one that would go largely unnoticed by most people at the time. The U.S. Mint had started experimenting with the composition of pennies, gradually replacing copper with zinc due to the rising cost of copper. By the time 2001 rolled around, most pennies were made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. While this change may have seemed like a minor adjustment to the casual observer, it would have far-reaching implications for the value of certain pennies in the years to come. But it's not just the composition of the 2001 penny that makes it noteworthy, it's the variations within the production process itself that caught the attention of collectors. Like many coins, the 2001 penny was struck at the U.S. Mint's facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, over time, minting errors can occur during the production process. These errors, often minor, can lead to coins that are highly sought after by collectors. Such is the case with the 2001 penny, specifically, certain specimens that were struck with unique characteristics that make them far more valuable than their regular counterparts. Among these notable errors is the famous 2001 close AM penny. For those unfamiliar with the term, the close AM error refers to a specific variation in the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin. In a standard penny, the A and M are positioned relatively far apart. However, in the case of the close AM error, the letters are significantly closer together. This minor design flaw, which can be traced back to the minting process, has become one of the most sought-after error coins among collectors. The reason why this error is so important to collectors is simple: rarity. When it comes to coin collecting, the rarer the coin, the more valuable it becomes. The close AM error was not common, and only a select number of pennies were struck with this particular flaw. As a result, finding a 2001 close AM penny can be a thrilling experience for any collector. The rarity of these coins, combined with the historical significance of the year 2001, has made them a prized possession for many. Now, let's talk about the value of the 2001 penny. Most 2001 pennies, in their standard form, are worth just 1 cent. But when you stumble upon a 2001 close AM penny in excellent condition, the value can soar to impressive heights. The rarity of these error pennies, combined with the increasing demand from collectors, has led to dramatic price increases in recent years. In fact, a well-preserved 2001 close AM penny can fetch upwards of $135,000 at auction. Yes, that's right, $135,000. A penny, which would normally be worth just 1 cent, can command a price that rivals some of the most expensive coins in history. It's a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics and the incredible value that certain rare coins can hold. But what makes the 2001 close AM penny so valuable? It's a combination of factors. First and foremost, the rarity of the error is what drives its value. The minting process is a delicate one, and even small imperfections can result in coins that are highly prized by collectors. The close AM penny is a prime example of how a minor flaw can elevate a coin's worth. Additionally, the historical context of the 2001 penny adds another layer of significance. The year 2001 was a pivotal one for the United States, marked by both triumph and tragedy. The terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, changed the course of history, and the nation would never be the same again. While the 2001 penny may not have been directly tied to these events, it is still a piece of numismatic history that represents a unique period in American life. As time passes, coins from this era will only become more valuable as a tangible connection to the past. Now, let's talk about the appeal of collecting pennies in general. For many collectors, pennies represent an accessible entry point into the world of numismatics. Pennies are widely circulated, and they are relatively easy to find, making them a popular choice for collectors who are just starting their journey. However, as experienced collectors know, not all pennies are created equal. While most pennies are worth only their face value, rare error coins like the 2001 close AM penny can bring in substantial sums of money for collectors. The thrill of finding a rare coin is akin to discovering buried treasure. Every time you go through your spare change, there's the potential to uncover a valuable piece of history. Whether you're hunting for errors or simply collecting coins for their historical significance, the world of numismatics offers endless opportunities for discovery and adventure. But it's not just the rare coins that make collecting so appealing. The world of coin collecting is also about the stories behind the coins. Each coin has a story to tell, whether it's the story of the minting process, the history of the country, or the tale of a collector who stumbled upon a hidden gem. For the 2001 close AM penny, the story is one of a small, seemingly insignificant error that caught the attention of numismatists and collectors alike, leading to a coin that is now worth an astounding $135,000. So, the next time you find a 2001 penny in your pocket, take a moment to examine it closely. Is it just a regular penny, or could it be one of the rare 2001 close AM error pennies? If you find one, you might just have in your hands a coin worth $135,000. It's a reminder that, sometimes, the most valuable things in life are the ones we least expect.